Hi everyone,
Okay.
welcome to my very fast mud blog. Hello everyone, to be honest, I'm really nervous.
अच्छा.
Uh, yeah, but let's do this right. This is
Wow, nice.
my fast mud blog that I'm starting, and I just want to share my experience on the road. That's not just like a only thing that you will experience along the way. Whatever I will experience, whatever the things I will face, those things definitely I will share with you all of you guys. Yeah, let's enjoy the first ride, and let's see how everything goes.
चलो भाई, देखो अब मैं क्या करता हूँ.
Yes, today is Sunday.
ठीक है.
Having a ride is really a blessing, first thing, because Sunday is something we always spend time for our own, and that one part is mostly doing the home activities, especially taking care of clothes, taking care of health, not exactly health actually, because health is something that we need to take care every day, but it's mostly entertainment. Let's say going outside, or going to watch movie, or hanging with friends. This is something is usually people conduct during Sunday or during the weekend. Sorry, whatever I have told must be not audible because of what we can say, because of the loud noise. Let's start again, and I'm not perfect, starting the blog, uh, starting everything, but however, I mean, no one is perfect at the first time. Whatever someone is doing, whether starting the job, we always very nervous. We actually, let's say, I am just starting a new course. We were always nervous whether I will do the course properly, whether I will gain the knowledge properly, whether I will. Let's do the right. Especially today, I want to say much thing, but let's say if I will start from scratch, or if I will start from very scratch, especially presenting myself, or addressing you guys. So I can address this way. Hi everyone, welcome to my very fast mud blog, and yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, unless until we start something, we will not know what's wrong or what's right. Okay, and starting a motor blog, usually I do a lot of ride, but I never ever thought of starting a motor blog. But I realize if I can share you know uh, my POV on the road, that is something a good experience. Can interact with all of you guys. Let's say I'm just enjoying the road, or I'm just enjoying the ride. That's only for myself, okay. But what if I'm able to share those things with you? That could create a I mean, it has a lot of benefits, if I will say, and unless until I will start, I don't know like what I can achieve or what I can like share, what I can do, all these things. So I decide, let's do a motor blog, and something. I mean, everyone is aware of. If we are doing something, we always take someone as an inspiration. We always take someone's like a process as well, like how someone is doing. Unless like let's say I am solving a mathematics problem.
I want
In
problems
that case,
always.
we always take the strategy or like the methods of solving the problem, maybe from a book, and that book has been written by someone, or from a friend, okay, or maybe a teacher has taught us a like a easy method, or something like that, right? So it's an inspiration, we can say. If we will like overall, I will come to conclude. So this is there are a lot of options I have taken inspiration to start a motor blog, okay, and definitely like in other videos I'll share about those notable persons, because they're really good persons. They never share any wrong things, especially on the road. So like if I will come to a point, I mean there was time riding a Spotify key, that means you always end up riding very fast, and there are multiple ways it will make you sober rider, or we can say ideal person, kind of ideal rider. But there are multiple ways, I'm saying. Maybe taking care of the family responsibility, putting yourself in such a situation that you think if something will happen to you, who will take care of your family, okay? Or like let's say if you are taking someone's advice very seriously, in that case someone told you, or you find about them that how they are, and you realized that you are doing opposite of what they think, how they treat, or how they do. So then you realized, okay, if I am following someone, if I am like taking advice of them, it's time to rethink the approach, rethink the way we ride. If you, especially we talk about ride, there is one another way we can say. So and also like let's say if I am taking someone's let's say if I am taking inspiration from someone's video, okay, so in that case I found that they have the really good rider, and I am doing opposite of that, and I always think or I always consider how good rider they are in that case, and I am doing opposite of those things. So then, I mean, this is something will make you very guilt, okay, and what's it mean? Okay, I found someone was honking behind, or maybe I heard something wrong. Anyway, oh, hi drivers. Okay, I was at a point like how he could be a sober rider. Okay, sober, or we can say ideal rider. We will not do aggressive riding or not doing very fast riding unless until it's a important or the road is empty. Even the road is empty, we shouldn't do those things. It's not worth the life. It's not worth taking the risk. Also, there is another point let's say multiple times we have faced road accident, especially even you are not riding very fast, but still the circumstances, the road has not supported you properly, or like the surrounding and everything. In those cases, you faced accidents and everything. You realized it's not worth taking risk. So that's another thing that could make you a good rider as well. So yeah, certain things we need to learn from others as well, and certain things we need to learn from our mistakes as well. So unless you are not learning from your mistake, then why we are called as human, or why we are called as intelligence human being, or intelligence species. Because of the things like, let's say I'm making something, okay, or riding something is something we are making, okay, we are enjoying the ride. But what if we are doing in the wrong way? Okay, so when we will make mistake, we will learn from those mistakes. Okay, this is something is not the right way. Let's recalibrate, or maybe let's learn that okay, this is something I am making mistake, and this is not the right way. Let's do this way, or let's check out like how the other people are doing, whether they are doing correctly or not. So that way we can learn. Okay. Also, let's say if someone is sharing really helpful tips, especially on riding, then we can also learn from those things. We don't need to think, okay, I know everything, okay, I know. That way we cannot learn, if I will be honest. There is a question I always find on internet as well. People ask, also friends ask, okay, why you ride? And it's something as a rider we must know, okay, why we are riding, right? So, and there are a lot of ways to make ourselves happy, okay. And so there was time I always I always do exercise, even I do nowadays, but the thing is that was a certain point I do every day, all the time, okay. Whenever I have time, I do exercise. That was the something I was doing at that moment. But and I realized this is something riding is something it will bring peace to mind. It will bring concentration to mind. And I realized that's something we can enjoy the ride. And see, when you are on the road, you will find a lot of people who are doing a lot of frustrating things. I'm trying to pass this vehicle, but it's not possible. Oh, yeah, it's NH, right? So why people are making that much crowd on the road? Oh, see what's a vehicle? Like, I mean, we know what's its capacity, but it's taking so much weight more than this, like more than allowed, we can say. And there is something like I just want to talk about. Like when we ride or when we are riding, uh, some people suggest not to, use earphone or earbud. I mean, to avoid accident or someone is honking behind you, you didn't notice that because of the noise music or as it's blocking the earphone is blocking your sound. The other thing, I mean, for me, if you are frank, that I always take a earphone. Okay, it always bring the peace. Like you see, there is a movie I was watching, Driver. If you guys know, but I watched that movie multiple times. There is a scene where who supposed to be his girlfriend, like in later in the movie, but when they are interacting for the first time, so like the girl just told or shared her interest. Okay, so she wants that the road should be empty, the music and the vehicle. So I mean, what you can enjoy on the road? Music and the view and the surrounding. And something like when you are concentrating on the road, you will learn a lot of things. Okay, like how people are approaching, how people are riding. You guys hear the sound? I love to hear the sound, but the thing is, I don't prefer to use exhaust because it's unnecessarily, increasing the noise pollution. First thing, and let's say I have seen a lot of people are using exhaust on a bike like a 150cc bike, right? And to be frank, it's not all. Okay, it will hamper the engine as well. Okay, it's just one cylinder, engine. Okay, why people are putting exhaust on the vehicle, to enjoy the sound, to serve, why?
अरे भाई
But for me, it's completely fine to enjoy the ride without making noise. Okay, let's say there is a vehicle I am using. Okay, and it has a two-cylinder or starting two-cylinder. Even on two-cylinder, I will not prefer. But let's say if it's a three-cylinder, then I will prefer to use exhaust if the bike is not producing that much sound what I am expecting. Okay, so it's three-cylinder. Definitely, I will expect at least it to sound good. I'm not saying for the surf. Okay, but usually in that case it's a bike, it has that level of engine, okay, that could produce that level of sound. But however, in case the bike doesn't have that level of like a sound or not producing, it's completely fine. uh, like it depends on, like, if you can compare with the same cc or around the same level of cc bike that they have that much of sound, and in that case I may prefer, to me, what actually I'm saying. But putting exhaust on a 150cc bike, it's not good. It may hamper the engine. This is a city. I always compare this city with Delhi. You guys know why? When you are on the road, you always find people don't look both side. They will come very fast. I mean, someone is you see someone is coming from one side, right? What actually usually what do people need to do? Okay, let's see. I'm like forwarding toward a road. In that case, people always do, okay, let's slow down, right? But here people don't do those things. They will, even you are on the road, you need to be very careful. Like you need to see if someone is coming from any like road. See, they're taking you turn. That's completely fine. If someone is coming from one side, they need to slow down a little bit. They need to, okay, give a side. Okay, that guy is going, let's give a side to him. No, here people don't do these things. There is a darling in movie in, I guess, Avengers Endgame. No, Avengers Infinity War. Like when all the group, like all the Avenger members reached like Wakanda. It's like Bruce was doing bowing, okay, as a title as a king. But king told him, we don't do that here. Like that. In other city, people will give respect to you. Okay, you want to go, I am giving you a side, just go this way, right? But people don't do here those things. That ignorism we don't do here. I forgot actually where I need to go. I will wait here. Okay. Or should I go to that point? I just need to take a U-turn. I remember. Hello everyone. Now this is time around, yes, 9:44, and let's do it, right? And before like going ahead, hello everyone, welcome to my first Moto vlog, and this is the day I'm starting my first Moto vlog. I'd like to let you know a lot of things before we start the Moto vlog, and the things I would like to cover, like mind behind, like why I'm starting or why I'm doing Moto vlog. Okay, why do I ride, and like what things I can offer. I mean, not in terms of like finance or all these things. That's beyond something that I couldn't handle. But apart from, let's say, especially from my motorbike, what you can achieve, what you can learn, and yeah, let's do discuss on those part first thing. Oh, this is the point where I think I was silent a little bit because I was just concentrating on the traffic. I mean, this is something, it's on the road. You need to be very vigilant. Okay. If you, yeah, road is full of, I mean, it may be empty, it's night, but night is something, very prone to accident. So, we need to be very careful, taking any step forward. Or, let's say, I just did a lane change. On that case, you need to be very careful. Before doing any lane change, you need to use your rear view mirror. So yeah, let's talk about the things I was mentioning earlier, why I am doing a motovlog. Writing is something it's my very my passion. Okay, the thing is, I always enjoy writing. It gives the concentration. So the thing is, it give you the confidence on the road when you hit the road, and if you do proper riding and everything. See, you will find a lot of people who are doing aggressive riding or fast riding. Those things, see, it's not. We can't say it's a motovlog. Okay, this is something. What we can say, it makes me laugh sometimes because there are people who are actually have done those things, and they were very famous with their aggressive ride and everything. But I do not cover those people. There are people who do actual riding. You enjoy them. When you watch their riding, you will enjoy. So those things you need to focus. Okay, why I'm doing motor riding? Motor riding is something it's my passion. Okay, and I do enjoy riding. There are a lot of ways you can enjoy yourself. There are a lot of ways you can find your happiness. But doing riding and enjoying it, and this is something you will give you, a more immense happiness. You won't find anything, any other things as well. Okay, there are people who are really always interested to do riding. The thing is, because of the things they don't have time. Okay, because of their work constant or something. Because of some finance things as well. I mean, if you have a bike or scooty, anything, you can do riding. Okay, it's not that you need to have a proper segment bike. No, it's something we, shouldn't worry about, because I have seen a lot of people who do real riding with a scooty, with a normal bike, with a splendor, the legend. So motovlog is something, it's my passion, so I'm doing that part. And mind behind the riding. Okay, this is really interesting part or interesting portion of my riding. Actually, there are I mean. When I have started riding, not exactly when I was doing those, at home, I'm saying like riding alone or doing whole riding to somewhere else. You like to enjoy or to reach a destination, all these things. I always find Moto riding is something, you know, like there are people who always encourage through their video that you can do those things. Okay, and it was something I was not, interested or not exactly interested. I shouldn't put that word. Like this is something has not come to my mind earlier. Okay, but later after watching a lot of motor riding videos, it really inspired me that I can to do things. I'm not like such. I mean, this is something like you need to be presentable. Okay, it's not that you need to speak in front of camera. Okay, and if I would say that way, I'm very really shy person. Like I'm very camera shy, I can say. But anyway, motor blogging is something that you don't need to present yourself in front of camera, right? You can just speak. No one will see your face unless you are revealing yourself. Okay, and like the voice behind the writing and everything. So like this is something that I can do. Okay, there are a lot of people who always just always wanted to do something, but because of camera shy, all these things, they really don't want to do, or that make them very what we can say, like nervous. Even I am also very nervous, and I am talking for the first time with the camera. But the camera is not faced towards me, but yes, like, so I'm really nervous as well as I feel confident as well, because if you not so you're confident, there will be time like if you look maybe I can't do. Okay, you will give up. But unless until you start, unless until you like yes, that's something we need to also keep in mind, that no one will be perfect until unless like you are not starting something, right? So we need to start with the like record, and then later you can make a perfect your writing. You can perfect your presentable videos. You can make cinematic videos as well. You can do like you can add a lot of equipments to writing. You can add a lot of riding gear as well, so that it could make you better rider. Not just a better rider, also could help you to create better videos. Okay, but the thing is, unless until we have not started, we don't know like whether I'm good or I'm not real good at something, right? So let's say, in terms of education, mostly people start something particularly and then give up. But let's say there are people who speak, okay, this is something is not my thing. It's maybe, but the thing is, unless until you have not started, you have not experienced properly, you can't say that it's not your thing. Okay, like there is a singer you must know about the story, Sakira. Like when she was singing during her school time, the teacher told her that you can't be a good singer. But she started, right? That made her a good singer, not just a good singer. She's the best singer. So that's, unless until we have not started anything, we can't say that you will not do anything, or it's not my thing or something. So it's better we start, right? So and I just want to also it's not something that I just come up and start talking. No, really, before starting anything, I have practiced multiple times, like how I should talk in a mic, how my voice should be. This is a very interesting part. Let's say there are people who can be presentable, but the thing is they always fear. Okay, my voice it is sounding very terrible, because actually the thing is when we heard our voice for the first time, we always fear, we feel what's this terrible voice. So even for the first time when I was listening my voice, I was thinking, oh, my voice is very harsh, I can't listen this. But the thing is, there are people who started and
हम तो छोटे लोग हैं, हम तो सिर्फ वीडियो ही बना सकते हैं।